Building a stockpile is a crucial aspect of preparedness, ensuring that you and your family have a reliable food supply during emergencies or situations where access to fresh food is limited. However, not all foods are suitable for long-term storage. In fact, certain foods can significantly decrease the effectiveness of your stockpile, leading to spoilage, infestation, and ultimately wastage. This video will provide crucial insights into 12 foods that you should avoid storing if you want to maintain the quality and longevity of your provisions, understanding which foods can negatively impact your stockpile, and why is essential to ensure that your efforts to prepare are not in vain. Factors such as short shelf life, susceptibility to pests, and storage conditions can all play a crucial role in the durability of your stockpile. By identifying and excluding these problematic items, you can optimize your storage and safeguard against potential pitfalls. Explore our list and find out which foods you should steer clear of to keep your stockpile in prime condition. 1. Fresh fruits and vegetables. When it comes to building a reliable stockpile, fresh fruits and vegetables can be problematic due to their short shelf life and high perishability. Unlike canned or dried goods, fresh produce needs to be consumed within a few days to a week. Otherwise, they begin to spoil and lose their nutritional value. This inherent short shelf life makes them an impractical choice for long-term storage. Additionally, the perishability of fresh fruits and vegetables poses a significant risk of attracting pests, such as flies, ants, and rodents, which can compromise the integrity and cleanliness of your entire stockpile. Another issue to consider is that fresh produce requires precise conditions, such as refrigeration and proper humidity levels, to maintain freshness. In a situation where electricity or refrigeration is unavailable, keeping these items from spoiling becomes nearly impossible. This could lead to food waste and the potential for foul odors and mold, which can spread to other stored items. Therefore, while fresh fruits and vegetables are essential for a balanced diet, they are ill-suited for long-term stockpiling. Opting for frozen, canned, or dehydrated alternatives can provide similar nutritional benefits, without the risks associated with spoilage and pest attraction. 2. Dairy products. Dairy products, though staple in many diets, can significantly undermine the longevity of your stockpile. Rapid spoilage is a primary concern, as items like milk, cheese, and yogurt have very limited shelf lives and require constant refrigeration to remain safe for consumption. Without proper cooling, these products can spoil within hours, leading to health risks such as food poisoning from bacterial contamination. Moreover, the spoilage process is often accompanied by the development of unpleasant odors, which can permeate your storage area and affect other stocked items. Additionally, dairy products are particularly susceptible to bacterial growth. Harmful bacteria, such as Listeria, Salmonella, and E. coli, can proliferate quickly in dairy items that are not stored in the correct conditions. These bacteria pose serious health risks, ranging from gastrointestinal distress to more severe life-threatening illnesses. Considering these factors, dairy products are undeniably a poor choice for long-term food storage. To maintain the integrity and safety of your stockpile, it is advisable to opt for alternative sources of nutrition that have extended shelf lives and do not rely on refrigeration such as powdered milk or shelf-stable dairy substitutes. Ensuring your stockpile's durability and safety is crucial for preparedness. 3. Bread and baked goods. Bread and baked goods are among the most vulnerable items in your stockpile, due to their high susceptibility to mold and rapid staleness. Within just a few days, these perishable items can develop mold if not stored correctly or consumed promptly. Mold not only spoils the flavor and texture of the bread, but also poses significant health risks, including allergic reactions and respiratory issues. Proper storage conditions are crucial to extend the freshness of bread and baked goods. But even then, their shelf life remains short compared to other non-perishable items. Storing them in a cool, dry place or using airtight containers may slow down the inevitable staleness and mold growth. But it won't solve the long-term storage problem. Some people opt for freezing bread to extend its shelf life. But this isn't a feasible solution for stockpiling scenarios where freezer space and power might be limited. Given these challenges, relying on bread and baked goods as a staple in your stockpile is a risky choice. Instead, consider stockpiling longer-lasting alternatives like hardtack, crackers, or baking mixes you can prepare as needed. These options provide more reliable, durable solutions for maintaining a robust and resilient emergency food supply. 4. Nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds are invaluable for their nutrient-dense profiles, offering healthy fats, proteins, and fiber. However, their high oil content makes them particularly susceptible to rancidity, which can significantly shorten their shelf life. When nuts and seeds spoil, not only do they lose their nutritional value, but they also develop an off-putting taste and smell that can ruin your stockpile. To mitigate this issue, it is crucial to store nuts and seeds in an airtight environment. Vacuum sealing is highly recommended to minimize exposure to oxygen, which accelerates rancidity. Alternatively, freezing nuts and seeds can extend their viability considerably, sometimes up to 2 years or more. By taking these precautions, you can ensure that this nutritious food category remains a reliable component of your emergency food stockpile. Neglecting proper storage, however, can lead to waste and disappointment, undermining your preparedness efforts. Therefore, always consider the storage requirements of nuts and seeds to maintain the quality and safety of your stockpile. 5. Canned foods with high acid content. Canned foods with high acid content, such as tomatoes, pineapples, and citrus fruits, pose unique challenges when stored for an extended period. One primary concern is the corrosion of the metal cans over time. High acidity can accelerate the breakdown of the metal lining inside the can, leading to potential leaks and contamination. This corrosion not only compromises the integrity of the container, but also allows bacteria and other harmful microorganisms to enter, making the food unsafe to consume. Additionally, chemical reactions between the high acid content and the can's metal can alter the food's taste, resulting in off flavors that render the food unpalatable. Over time, these reactions can also diminish the nutritional value of the contents, reducing the efficacy of your stockpile's provisions. To mitigate these risks, it is essential to regularly inspect your stockpile for any signs of can corrosion, leaks, or bulging, which indicate spoilage. Considering canned foods with high acid content can degrade more quickly, it is advisable to rotate these items more frequently and consume them well before their expiration dates. Alternatively, look for packaging options, such as glass jars or specially lined cans designed specifically to withstand high acidity, ensuring your stockpile remains safe and consumable. 6. Opened jars of sauces and condiments. Opened jars of sauces and condiments present a considerable challenge in maintaining a reliable stockpile. Once opened, these items tend to have a limited shelf life, which drastically reduces their viability for long-term storage. Exposure to air and varying temperatures can lead to quick spoilage, rendering them unsuitable for consumption. Additionally, the potential for contamination increases significantly if these jars are not stored under optimal conditions. Bacteria and mold thrive on the moist surfaces inside, which can pose serious health risks if consumed. It's crucial to always check for signs of spoilage, such as discoloration, off odors, or visible mold before using these products. To mitigate these issues, consider portioning sauces and condiments into smaller, vacuum-sealed containers or explore powdered and dehydrated alternatives that have extended shelf lives. This ensures that you are only opening what is necessary, thereby reducing waste and the risk of contamination. Regularly rotating and inspecting your stockpile will also help maintain the integrity of your supplies. By being cautious and strategic, you can ensure that your sauces and condiments remain a valuable component of your food reserves, without jeopardizing the overall safety and sustainability of your stockpile. 7. Prepared foods and leftovers. When stockpiling, prepared foods and leftovers can become a major liability due to their rapid spoilage and susceptibility to bacterial growth. These types of foods are naturally perishable and can quickly become unsafe to eat if not consumed within a short time frame. In a stockpile, they are often overlooked in favor of non-perishable items, which means they might sit forgotten for too long. This not only leads to wasted food but also creates a potential health risk, as consuming spoiled prepared foods can result in severe food poisoning. Furthermore, the lack of rotation for these items exacerbates the problem, as older leftovers or prepared dishes are left to deteriorate. Proper management of prepared foods and leftovers is essential. They need to be stored in appropriate conditions, labeled with dates, and cycled through more frequently to ensure they are consumed before spoiling. For a more sustainable stockpile, focus on items with longer shelf lives, and consider methods to preserve prepared foods for extended periods, such as freezing or vacuum sealing them. Remember, the key to a successful stockpile lies in managing each category of food efficiently to minimize waste and maximize shelf life. 8. Lunch meats and processed deli items. Storing lunch meats and processed deli items in your stockpile may seem convenient, but they come with several significant drawbacks. One of the primary concerns is their short freshness period. Unlike other preserved foods, lunch meats and deli items have a limited shelf life, typically only lasting a few weeks even when refrigerated. Once opened, their freshness decreases even more rapidly, necessitating prompt consumption to avoid spoilage. Another critical factor is the high risk of bacterial contamination associated with these products. Lunch meats and processed deli items are prone to harboring harmful bacteria, such as Listeria, Salmonella, and E. coli. These pathogens can grow even at refrigerated temperatures, posing serious health hazards if consumed past their prime. The presence of preservatives in some deli items does little to mitigate this risk over the long term. Given these considerations, lunch meats and processed deli items are not the ideal candidates for a long-lasting and reliable stockpile. Instead, focus on shelf-stable protein sources like canned meats or dried beans that provide longevity and safety, ensuring your stockpile remains viable and nutritious for extended periods. 9. Eggs. Eggs, despite being a versatile and nutritious food item, pose significant challenges when it comes to long-term storage. The foremost concern with eggs is their need for constant refrigeration to prevent spoilage. When left unrefrigerated, eggs can become a breeding ground for bacteria such as salmonella, which can lead to foodborne illnesses. In the event of a power outage or the absence of refrigeration, the quality of eggs can rapidly deteriorate, making them unsafe for consumption. Moreover, eggs present a substantial risk of cross-contamination. With other perishable items in your stockpile, the porous shells of eggs can easily absorb bacteria and odors from surrounding foods, potentially contaminating both the eggs and nearby items. To mitigate these risks, eggs must be stored in well-sealed containers and kept separate from other perishable goods. Given these vulnerabilities, relying on eggs as a staple in your emergency stockpile may not be advisable. Instead, consider alternative protein sources that offer greater shelf stability, such as powdered eggs, canned meats, or legumes. These options can provide necessary nutrition without the challenges associated with storing fresh eggs, ensuring your stockpile remains safe and dependable. 10. Raw meat and poultry. Raw meat and poultry are highly perishable items, with a significant risk of spoilage if not stored correctly. The primary concern with these food items in a stockpile is their vulnerability to temperature fluctuations. Without consistent freezing, bacteria such as Salmonella, E. coli, and Listeria can proliferate, posing severe health risks. These pathogens can cause foodborne illnesses that range from mild digestive discomfort to severe life-threatening infections. Moreover, during emergencies or power outages, maintaining the cold chain required to keep raw meat and poultry safe becomes an incredibly challenging task. The potential for contamination increases, and once spoilage sets in, the meat quickly becomes inedible and unsafe. Therefore, relying on raw meat and poultry as a part of your emergency stockpile is not advisable. Instead, consider alternative protein sources that are shelf-stable, such as canned meats, dried legumes, and protein bars. These alternatives offer the necessary nutritional benefits without the associated spoilage risks, ensuring that your stockpile remains both safe and practical during critical times. 11. Cheeses. Cheeses, though delicious and versatile, may not be the best candidate for long-term stockpiling. The spoilage rates of cheeses can vary significantly depending on the type. Soft cheeses like brie and camembert can spoil quickly due to their high moisture content and delicate structure. Even harder cheeses such as cheddar and parmesan are susceptible to mold growth if not stored properly. Additionally, prolonged storage of cheese can lead to the development of unpleasant odors, rendering them inedible and potentially contaminating other stored foods with their strong smell. While vacuum sealing and refrigeration can extend the shelf life of cheese, these methods are impractical for long-term, non-perishable stockpiling scenarios, especially in emergency situations where the power supply might be cut off. It's also important to note that once cheese starts to spoil, it can become a breeding ground for bacteria that could cause foodborne illnesses. Due to these factors, cheeses are better enjoyed fresh and should be consumed within a reasonable time frame. For those looking to stockpile foods that are both nutritious and durable, processed cheese alternatives such as cheese powders and canned cheese might be a more stable option, though they still cannot match the fresh taste of the original. 12. Cooked grains and pasta. Cooked grains and pasta might seem like sensible additions to a stockpile, but they can quickly become a liability. Their short shelf life is a significant drawback, especially when compared to their dried counterparts, which can be stored for much longer periods under proper conditions. Once cooked, grains and pasta become an ideal breeding ground for bacteria, particularly in environments where temperature control is a challenge. This rapid spoilage not only renders the food inedible but also poses potential health risks if consumed. Furthermore, the requirement for airtight and dry storage adds another layer of complexity. To preserve the freshness of cooked grains and pasta, they must be kept in tightly sealed containers to prevent moisture and contaminants from accelerating the spoilage process. This need for meticulous storage conditions can be impractical during emergencies, when time, resources, and proper storage facilities may be limited. Therefore, while cooked grains and pasta are convenient for immediate consumption, they are far from ideal for long-term stockpiling. Instead, consider storing dried grains and pasta which boast a significantly longer shelf life and are easier to manage and store under a variety of conditions. In summary, recognizing and understanding the potential hazards these foods present to your stockpile is crucial. Items like dairy, certain fats, and sugary products can spoil quickly, invite pests, or degrade other stored foods. Careful planning and selection are essential to not only ensure the longevity of your food stockpile, but also to guarantee safety and nutritional value during emergencies. By being mindful of what you're storing and regularly checking for any signs of spoilage or contamination, you can maintain a reliable and sustainable food reserve.